Well, so today we'll do a lab by Cyberdefenders, which is called the OpenWireLab, where we'll be given a pickup file and start analyzing the network traffic. So here it says investigated Java deserialization vulnerability in Apache ActiveMQ that enables remote code execution through insecure glass loading. So if you are good at Java programming, maybe once you have some sort of context, I was good at C++ in my university days. Anyways, let's read the scenario. During your shift as tier 2 analyst, you receive an escalation from tier 1 analyst, all right, regarding a public facing server. This server has been flagged for making outbound connection to multiple suspicious IP. So like it's a beaconing to a suspicious IP. In response, you initiate standard incident response protocol, which include isolating the server from the network to prevent potential lateral movement, data exfiltration, and obtaining packet capture from the NSM utility for analysis. Your task is to analyze the pickup and assess the signs of malicious activity. So we are given by 8 questions. We're given 8 questions. So what we can do, we first download the lab file, copy the password. Wait for the pickup file to open, and yeah, so as you can see, this is the pickup file. We have around 5,000 packets. So we'll start by looking at the activity. We're not given the IP of the Apache server or the public facing server, but let's answer the question one by one. I will not scroll down so we can answer the question without seeing the answer. So question number 1 says, by identifying the C2 IP, we can block the traffic from this IP, helping to contain the breach and prevent further data exfiltration. Can we provide the IP of the C2 server that's communicated with our server? Okay, as you know, initially we don't know the IP of our server, so we need to find the IP of the C2. So we can go here first at statistics, conversation, IPv4. So let's look where most of the packets are going. So around 4,867 packets, 5 megabytes of data A to B from this IP, 146.190.92 to B. A to B is around 2,900. And B to A, which is from this IP to this IP, is around 1956 packets. All right, so you can see a huge, so we might find the C2 IP among this one of these, because this IP is sending a lot of requests or packets to, or communication attempt to this IP. So we can apply as filter selected A to B. All right, so as you can see, it's sending a lot of TCP. Okay, so we can, for instance, we can look at the, follow the TCP stream, might find something. So as you can see, it says there's an invoice XML file. Okay, so all right, so you can see there's some malicious XML script. Okay, but so we want to know, so it's trying to get the invoice.xml. So there's the IP that's hosting this this XML is probably, if you follow the TCP stream here, follow the TCP stream, yeah, so the IP that's hosting this invoice.xml is the C2 IP, which is 146.190.21.92, as you can see here. So yeah, this is indeed the C2 IP, and the answer, it is it. Yeah. Question number 2 says, initial entry points are critical to trace the attacker vector back. What's the port number of the service the adversary exploited? Okay, so we know that the port number, if we look at the packet again, okay, as you can see, you can see destination ports 616, 616. Actually, you know what, let's go to protocol hierarchy, check what kind of protocol are being used. We have TCP, transport layer, malinformed packet, OpenWire, HTTP, and so on. So we can look at this one, applies filter, which is interesting. OpenWire protocol, and you can see this is our this is the C2IP, and this is our server IP. So it's trying to communicate with the C2IP through this port, you know, and under which with the OpenWire protocol. If you follow the TCP stream, yeah, so it's, you know, it's, there's some kind of malicious activity here. Invoice.xml. So since there's an OpenWire protocol here, which you can see at packet number 4 and 5, so yeah, so we have two destination ports, possible destination ports, 47284 and 616161. Okay, so we follow this TCP stream. Okay, the other one, it's almost the same one. So one of them, let's follow this TCP stream. Yeah, so both of them can be the answer, but probably one of them is the answer. It's a 1616161 or 4728. Yeah, so 616161, which is what through the OpenWire protocol, which is this one. Okay, this is here. Here is the exploit happened. FNAC and okay, on destination port this TCP and so on. So this is the C2IP communicating with our IP. Okay, question number 3 says, following on the previous section, what's the name of the service found to be vulnerable? Okay, and here it says, it gives us a hint, AAQ. Okay, we know that our IP is related to a server, public facing server, so we can follow the TCP stream. Okay, as you know, we have something called ActiveMQ, which is a Apache server. Okay, Java cage enabled. Okay, as you can see, this is related to Java vulnerability. Okay, class, support class, path, XML application, so on. So they're asking for the following the request, what's the name of the service found to be vulnerable? So we know that since it's a public facing server, it's an Apache server, and here it says ActiveMQ, so it's Apache ActiveMQ. So, or we can, you know, take this one, go to Google and paste it. So you can see ActiveMQ, Apache ActiveMQ is the most popular open source multi-protocol Java based message. Anyways, so that's the answer, Apache ActiveMQ. Question number 4 says, the attacker infrastructure often involve multiple components. What's the IP of the second C2 server? So we have two C2 IPs. Nice. Okay. One of them, okay, let me close this one. It's disturbing me. One of them, we know that one of them is this one, 146.190.192. Okay, so what could be the other one? We just can, you know what, just go to statistics conversation. Okay, we know that one of them was this one, and this is our IP, our server IP. So possibly the other one may be this one. So because you know this, you know, just let's follow, apply as B to A. Okay, so as you can see here, this is our server IP, and there's another IP which is different from the first IP, trying to communicate through port 46148. Okay, let's follow one of the packets, follow TCP stream, and you can see it says get docker. Okay, the host is this one, user agent curl. Okay, which is suspicious. Okay, this is our server IP, and you can see some malicious, okay, encrypted, or all right. So as you can see, this is the possibly the other service C2 IP, and it has like get docker HTTP1. Okay, so this is it, the other IP, the other C2 IP. So yeah, this is it indeed. Question number 5 says, attacks usually leave traces on the disk. What is the name of the reverse shell executable dropped on the server? Okay, so there's a reverse shell dropped on the server. Okay, so possibly since it's here, it says it's gets docker http.1. So this is most probably the reverse shell. But what we can do to check, or for further check, statistics, conversation, IPv4. Let's look at the first one. Sorry, by the most packets. The name of the reverse shell. Let's prepare as filter A to B. Okay, so here's the communication. What's the name of the reverse shell? Follow TCP stream. Okay. Okay, this is related to Java, so it's not here. Reverse shell, statistics, conversations, IPv4. Okay, this is the first C2IP identified. This is the second one, 128. So we can say applies filter A to B. Okay, so this is our IP attempting to communicate. This is our server IP attempting to communicate with the C2IP, follow TCP stream. All right, so yeah, so our IP is attempting to get something called the Docker. Okay, this is the host. So yeah, so possibly the reverse shell is called Docker. Yeah, it's called the Docker. What Java class was invoked by the XML file to run the exploit. Okay, so we can go to the packet file, and we know what's the C2IP from the conversation. This is one of the C2IPs. So let's make the connection, prepare as filter. Let's make it B2A, which is from our C2 from our server to C2IP. As you can see here, this is our sorry. All right, so this is our server communicating with the C2IP, follow TCP stream. Okay, we find a lot of encoded. Okay, so there's nothing here. We can go to the first packets. Okay, this is our IP communicating with the follow TCP stream. Yeah, so as you can see here, this is the invoice XML, which is hosted by the IP of the attacker on port 8000. You can see here some XML. So they're asking for what's the Java class invoked by the XML. So the Java class, if you're good at Java programming, is probably somewhere here. XML encode UTF beans. Okay, XML. Okay, spring forward. Okay, beans ID class. Okay, java.lang.process builder. Yeah, so this is the Java class that initiated the that was invoked by the XML file to run the exploit. Yeah, so this is it. Question number 7 says, all right, let's close the end. Question number 7 said, to better understand the specific security flow exploited, can you identify the CVE identified with this vulnerability? Okay, what we can do, we can just copy this one. We can come here and we can type Apache MQ and the exploited protocol. So so we did not find anything interesting. CVE, SS CVE. All right, so here, Apache Active MQ CVE 2023 4604 is a critical remote execution vulnerability affecting Java OpenWire protocol Marshall. Okay, yeah, so this is what we are looking for. It's related to our it looks like it's related to our vulnerability here. So yeah, it's this one, 2023 to 46604. So it's indeed the answer. Last question says, the vendor address the vulnerability by adding a validation step to ensure the one valid throwable classes can be instantiated, preventing exploitation. Which Java class and made it with these validation steps added? So to answer this question, we might need to be looking at some articles related to patching these vulnerabilities. So okay, we can just open anyone and try to look for validation. No, this one is so fast. Apache MQ. Oh, you know what, let's just copy this one. Copy. Okay, how to fix Apache. All right, so I think we can find the answer here. So how to fix Apache ActiveMQ. Okay, exception, technical details, changes made to fix this vulnerability. Okay, here in the latest product release, significant enhancement has been introduced. 45 security measure. A method validate throwable now resides within the base data stream Marshall class. Okay, so they're asking for what? They're asking in which Java class and method was this validation steps added. So they're saying a valid throwable, which is related to this one. Change made to fix the vulnerability. We have a valid throwable, which is related to Java programming. If you're good at programming, you'll answer. It's easy. So it's within this class called base data stream Marshall class. So yeah, this is the answer. This made it serve as a pivotal role ensuring the safety and deserialization process. As you can see here, the code. This is the valid throwable that they added to the exploited code and so on. So yeah, you can read this article. It's related to the vulnerability, and the answer is indeed, it is the answer. Base data stream create throwable. Okay, yeah.